If you're a business owner or a salesperson getting pushed around by prospects on the phone or on Zoom, I want to share one of the most powerful ways to take back control of a sales call and have somebody shit or get off the pot. Hey, I'm Branson Van Landingham, and I help established online high-ticket business owners close more deals and to leverage my conversational closing framework to, at a minimum, close 1 out of 3 people that they connect with. Again, that's the minimum goal. That should be the floor, and we're looking to take it much higher than that. And so I want to share a quick story from a time that I really kind of developed this. I'm not the first person to say this, but I really had it come to me naturally from being in the wild on a sales call. I had been in the online high ticket space as a salesperson for about 1.5 years. I had sold other things in high ticket for many years prior, but I was about 18 months into my journey in high ticket sales. And I had a prospect that I connected with on a phone call that was very, very combative. And mind you, the client that I was working with, I was helping them sell their service, they ran ads. So this person saw an ad, responded to an ad, worked through a funnel, booked a call, filled out information, and then showed up to the call. Right? So this isn't somebody I had cold called. This isn't somebody we were soliciting. This wasn't somebody that, didn't know what that was going on. This is somebody that took several steps to connect with us. And then when I got on there to run them through the framework of the sales call and run them down the path I wanted to take them, they wanted to go every which way besides where I wanted to take them. They wanted to ask questions. They wanted to be abrupt. They wanted to act not serious. And in this process and in my patience, I got a little frustrated and developed one of the most powerful ways to regain or retain control, power, and frame on a sales call. And many people probably you're going to hear them refer to this as leaning out. Right. And I, again, am not the first person to probably tell you this, but this kind of happened to me naturally from the rhythm of this sales call and my frustration with this prospect and their rudeness. And so when we look at aspects of how to do this, you want to use it very casually, meaning the way it comes across is casual. But internally, when you're going to deliver this, you want to be very calculated on who you use it on and when you use it. And when we talk about leaning out, I like to do it through, again, a very calculated but casual question to a prospect. So if you have a prospect that is really skeptical, is running off the rails, flooding you with questions, won't listen, is trying to take you off the path and wants to take control of the conversation, the most effective question that I've developed to ask them is to pause, look at them, if we're on Zoom, if not, really look at the phone if I'm talking to them on the phone, and let them know a very cool, casual, collected, hey, Bob, good old Bob, our prospect, hey, Bob, maybe this isn't for you, right? So if you have a program, hey, Bob, maybe this program isn't for you. Hey, Bob, if I'm hearing you correctly, I'm hearing X, Y, and Z based on what you're saying. And if that's the case, maybe our service isn't for you, right? So leveraging whatever you're trying to sell them in a very simple question-like frame of, hey, Bob, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this isn't the best fit for you. However you want to do that. And you can kind of even soften the blow a little bit if you'd like to by kind of putting that on you. But in turn, you're really shining the spotlight on this person and letting them know, hey, here's where you can lean in and we can get together and finish this conversation the right way. Or here's where we're not going to get on the same page. And in the interest of both of our times, we're going to hop off. Because as a business owner trying to sell, as a closer salesperson trying to sell, it doesn't do you any good to talk to a prospect that is all over the place, because the likelihood that they're going to hear what you're saying, that they're going to listen to it, that they're going to intake it, and that you're going to be able to leverage what you're telling them to bring them to a close and a yes at the end of that sales call is slim to none. So we want to get together with the right kinds of people, and we want to push away the people that aren't as serious, that aren't as intentional, so that we, as a business owner, as a salesperson, can spend time talking to people who are. So this is a very powerful but a very simple way to casually but calculated ask somebody, hey, are you taking this serious or not? Are you in this thing? Are you interested or not? Now, you're not going to come out and ask it that way. You're going to frame it how we just talked about. Hey, Bob, based on what you're saying, I'm not sure our program's the best fit for you, right? And that's going to cause them to pause not only internally, but externally. Because guess what? Probably 95% of salespeople or business owners that are selling don't have the balls to ask a simple question. And don't get me wrong, we're not trying to be rude here. We're not trying to be firm. We're not trying to be a butthole. But we're simply, after trying a couple other things, bringing people back in, bringing them to the process, getting them back on track with the right kinds of questions and the right kinds of statements and sharing of what it is you're trying to accomplish with your product, service, their problem, desired outcome. After you're looping all that in, if you've made a couple goes at that and you guys still aren't on the same page, I casually just like to throw that their way and have them internally say, oh man, this person thinks I don't have the desire. This person thinks I'm not serious. Maybe they think I don't have the capital. And the right kinds of people are the people that are willing to be the right kinds of people. And as a prospect, they're going to lean in if they're going to be able to correct themselves. And you guys are going to have great rapport to finish that conversation and finish it the right way. But the wrong kinds of people, they're going to lean out. They're probably going to get upset. They're probably going to make excuses. They might even hang up on you. And if that's the case, that's okay. Because again, this isn't the first thing that you immediately go to, but after several goes at it, being able to implement this simple frame of leaning out and saying, hey, based on what you're telling me, I'm not sure that we would be the best fit to help you. I'm not sure our program would be the best fit to solve this problem for you, for your business, whatever the case may be. And it causes them to pause because they're not used to hearing that. They're used to salespeople calling them, soliciting them, they're connecting with them, and they're trying to sell them at any opportunity possible. They're trying to cram a square peg into a round hole and do these downsells and these cross sells and all these things, or not follow a framework and just run off the rails with a sales consultation, and it becomes a chit-chat conversation at that point. They're not able to process that the same when they hear you say, hey, wait a minute, I don't think I can help you, right? Again, we're not framing it that way. Maybe if they're super rude, you can frame it that way, but you're able to leverage it a very specific way. And this came to me naturally on a sales call. Again, when I had a prospect that had filled out all this information and taken the time, knew what they were signing up for, and hopped on a free strategy call with me, and they wanted to be rude. They wanted to question about us getting results. And I have another video on the channel that talks about getting results, and that was kind of developed in this conversation as well, where when they get combative about, I'm not sure that this works, I'm not sure, blah, 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 you can get results. And I'm able to point to the process of, hey, how did you find us? How are we connected here? And then that still didn't turn the page. That gave me all the license I needed to, again, casually but calculated, ask them a very simple question like of, hey, I don't know that this is for you, right? And kind of frame it as a question. I'm leaving it kind of open-ended. Again, I want to point that to them, but I want to do that kind of softly, right? Firm but polite is what I like to say a lot of the time. And that, again, causes them to pause, and they're going to lean one way or the other. This gentleman blew up, got super upset. I knew I had made the right call. But with the people that maybe are just a little bit skeptical, or maybe they're chatty Cathys, or they're a little bit unorganized, this will help draw them in, and they'll lean into your side so that you can regain, if you've lost it or a piece of it, and retain power, control, and frame when on a sales call. So if you're listening to this and you're a business owner or you're a salesperson and you know you have calls running rampant, you know that you have people kind of walking all over you, maybe being skeptical, argumentative, combative, not listening, flooding you with questions, getting you off track, and you know that you don't have a specific framework, first of all, and then built-in patches of things like this to be able to circle back and, again, regain and retain control on that call by following a framework, grab the description link in our description of the video here. And I'd love to connect with you and share ways that we can implement this as a part of our conversational closing framework to help you as a business owner, as a salesperson, connect with high quality prospects and turn those people with very little effort, meaning you have a framework that you can follow and leverage in a very genuine way, that you're just talking and sharing aspects of how you can help people, and you have things built in like this that can draw the right kinds of people in and push away the people that are not those people and are not those prospects that will become high-paying clients. We have aspects of how we can leverage that in our conversational closing framework that will be very helpful in taking someone in or pushing someone out. And as salespeople, we need to have the poise and confidence by having a framework and having a system to be able to connect with the right kinds of people and use things like this to really connect and draw those people in, bring us together so that we can run through our actual framework and push away the people that aren't there so that we can spend times with the right kinds of people. Because if somebody shows to us as we talk to them. And if we do a good job as a business owner, as a salesperson, connecting with prospects, and they show us who they really are, the likelihood that a bad prospect or a bad behaving prospect, if you will, or a skeptical or super doubtful or rude prospect, the likelihood that they become a high paying client of you or your business is very, very slim to none. And even then, even if they do become a high paying client, the likelihood that they're the ideal client, that they're easy to work with, and that they're listening and they're following and they have the desire to really implement what it is that you're trying to sell them, that opportunity and that percentage is even slimmer, the percentage they even become a client in the first place, right? So take this and implement this in your business or in your routine as a salesperson. And again, if you feel like you don't have aspects like this at play and how you're selling, grab the link in the description below. I'd love to learn more about your business, your industry, your offer, what your existing process is, if any, and we can talk about how we can leverage things like this and many other pieces that make up our conversational closing framework to help you be more effective in how you close as a business owner, as a salesperson. I appreciate the time you took watching this video. Again, if I can help you with this in any way, connect with me via the link in the description, and I'll look forward to diving into it further there with you. Thank you.